Hi everyone, my name is Stefan. I'm a PM on the Remote Desktop Services team. That's the team that owns Windows Virtual Desktop. And the feature that I'm working on, it's called MSX Attach. In the previous video from this series, we took an MSI and we converted it to MSX. Now we're going to take that MSX and we're going to prepare an MSX image that we're going to use in our MSX Attach deployment. And again, I'm going to jump to my clean VM. So here's my VM. So last time we left it somewhere over here where we had our MSX package and our zip file, and I was showing you how the content of the zip file looks something like this. Excellent. Now we're going to take this MSX and make it an MSX image. And when I say that, it sounds like, oh yeah, no, another conversion. Well, it's not another conversion. It's really, we are unpackaging the zip file. That's what the expansion is. That's why we use the term expansion. There's no wallet there. We're taking the content of the MSX and we're putting in a VHD, because you remember in the previous video, the unzipping was happening while we were installing, so the install took somewhat longer. And for MSX Attach and our promise of dynamic application delivery, we cannot wait for that time. And we do have a tool to do it for you. However, that tool in its current iteration requires that you have a VHD ready. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the disk management tool and go and do action, create VHD. I'll pull it on a network share somewhere over here. And I like to use the same name as the package for the name of the folder. This makes it very easy for me to later track what I have done. Name of the VHD. I don't really remember how big this was. With the current tool, it's a little bit of trial and error. You need to figure out how big your unpackaged MSIX is. So I'll take a stab at 500 megabytes. And what's going to happen is almost instantaneously that VHD is created, it's mounted, but you can probably tell there's something wrong with it. There is a reason why there is a red over here. So let's go fix it real quick by initializing the disk. Create a simple volume. And while I'm doing that, you're probably thinking that is really inefficient. I cannot be clicking around every time I need to repackage an application. And you're absolutely correct. So we do have an article, aka.ms/MSX and WVD, where we have the equivalent PowerShell for preparing a VHD that's going to host our expanded MSX package. Okay, this is done. And the nature of VHDs in Windows is that they're automatically mounted and assign a drive letter. So if you go into this folder here, go to G, there's not much here. I'm going to create a folder apps. This is kind of a best practice, not kind of, this is a best practice, just in case I want to have that VHD for other purposes. So here, no surprise, there's nothing there. Now, how do we do the expansion? I did mention the aka.ms/MSX and WVD. There, what we need to do is download the Msx Manager. That's the tool that our friends in the DXP team have provided that allows us to expand an MSIX into the MSX image with very little overhead. Okay, so you can download the tool over here. I already have it downloaded, so I'm gonna start command prompt. There is a mistake that I do very often. The MSX Manager requires to apply permissions when we do the expansion. We gotta make sure that we do this in elevated command prompt. So I'm gonna go do this as an admin. Yes, I am sure. And I'm going to navigate to the folder where I downloaded my MSX Manager. Oops, there's no such thing as 64. MSIX Manager. Okay, and it's not a complicated command. However, I'm somewhat on the lazy side, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it, and I'm gonna share that. Okay, so I copied something from my notes from a previous expansion, and what we have here, it's MSX Manager. We're obviously gonna unpack a package that is right now on our desktop. Where is the package? Right here, Microsoft Edge. Little trick, right click, hold the shift, right click, copy as path, and I'll give you the path to that particular file. Here you go. And then the destination, and we say it's going to be G and apps. And the last switch we're going to do here is apply echoes. So we're going to run this, and let's see what's going to happen. Live demo. Well, for you, it will be recorded. Okay, and not much is happening. But if you notice over here, something is happening. In the G drive where we created our apps folder, something is being populated over here. And you'll be like, wait, this looks somewhat familiar. This looks exactly like the content of the zip file. Right? .zip here, copy .zip, the VHD. Well, that's what expansion is. We took the zip file and we put it in VHD. Why? Because it's highly performant when you don't have to unzip the file on the fly. Now, for those that were keen inside, you will notice that I got an error. And the error is the VHD is too small. So let's go fix that really quick. Okay, so the best way to fix this is just to create a new VHD. So first thing, you gotta make sure that I unmount this VHD. You can see 4 megabytes left. I was almost there. We'll check that one. We go back into the disk manager. And we'll create, come on, action, create VHD. We'll put it on the same path. So go to all files, we'll grab that name. Now, this is one of the tips and tricks. You cannot override it like that. I just delete it, and this time I will err on the side of being conservative and make it 1 gigabyte. And you'll be like, Stefan, why didn't you do it 1 gigabyte in the beginning? Well, this was the part of the demo. I wanted to show you a very common error that I get, and hopefully you're not gonna get it in your environment. Same here. Initialize disk, okay. Simple volume. Now, luckily for my lazy nature, you can see that my command is still in the command prompt. So all I need to do is run that one more time. Let's go check on the G file, on the G drive. And in apps, stuff is happening, it's all here. Now, if we guessed the right size, we won't get an error here. And voila, no error. Successfully created a VHD with our MSX package inside, or a simpler way of saying it, we expanded our MSX into a VHD. Now we can take that VHD and use it for MSX App Attach, which will be the next video. Thank you very much, and we'll chat soon.